right, so we're doing our second night of Christmas lights. Instead of going home, when I got off the train, I decided to just walk over real quick. So I'm coming straight from work. I don't live too far, so I figured it makes sense to just take the camera with me to work, and then when I got off the train tonight, I would hit the blocks and see if all the lights are on. Last time we went, there were still a lot of houses that were getting set up, like this one. This one was actually being set up. When we came the last time, it was off, but now it's lit up. They have inflatables. This is cute. So, what are we gonna do? We're gonna go back to where we were the other night. We're gonna see what is on. I'm assuming that everything is lit up by now. We shall see what happens. I can tell that people are definitely coming tonight. A lot more people walking around, looking at houses. Definitely a lot more houses are This is one of my favorite houses, but it's not lit up yet. So far, one house that hasn't been finished. So this house coming up was not lit up the other night. I got stopped by the light. So yeah, this house was not lit up the other night. It was still being set up. I had walked by and saw the guys still finishing up. This is actually a cool house. Sometimes they have some moving things in here, so we'll see if they have it. Oh, they do. So here it is. It's one of the first houses. There's like a little snowman that comes out of a present over here. Right there. Now this is actually one of the newer houses as far as the amount of time in the last 20 years. This house has not been doing it for that many years, so they're fairly new. I'd say in the last 10 years. I mean, I don't want to be wrong, so I'm just giving a bigger number, but it's like in the last 10 years they've been doing this. Go across the street. In case anyone's wondering, we just had a pretty big storm the other day. Luckily, we only got like the tail ends of the storm. It got cold enough to drop some ice and snow, but not a lot. So you'll see some snow laying around. We were here the other night. This was the first house that we were at.
Hadi oğlum dedeyle beraber resim ver bakayım. Bana bak oğlum. Cheese lan. Dur onun şeyini atsana. Lan. Hadi oğlum cheese. Nereye karar ver? Woo! Vamos.
It's pretty cold out tonight. It's upper 20s, pretty windy. So it's definitely cold tonight. It's one of the colder nights we've had. It's going to be cold for a little while now. So the other night when we came up here, there was no snowflake house, but it looks like it's lit up today. Looks like a lot of the houses are lit up today that were not lit up the other night. So, oh, it's definitely lit up. I can see it from here. Oh yeah. Now this is crazy right here. So, a lot of lights. So this is, I call this the snowflake house because there's a lot of snowflakes on it. But we'll come back. We're gonna go over back to the inflatable house. We'll make a run to the houses again, the ones that we missed. And then we'll come back to the main attraction. It's the inflatable house. This is another house that was not lit up the other night.
No, I sell insurance and do real estate, so yeah. No, this normally make it out of plastic or 2x4s, but last year switching to 2x4s.
So he's got it lit up all the way down to the garage. We'll walk down and then we'll come back up. A lot more people, as you can see. But believe it or not, it's still not close to as crowded as it gets on the weekends. On the weekends, it gets even way crowded than this.
Igual yo me fijé todas.
There's a house that's a little out of the way that I want to check out. So we're gonna go check that out right now. We'll go check this out. I don't remember this house much. So this is the route we're gonna take tonight. I'm gonna go up this one, up this street. This is 83rd. I'm gonna go up 83rd. We're gonna go along 11th down to 85th. And then we'll come back on 12th and pass by the big houses that were not lit up. I guess we'll save those for last. Here's another house that wasn't lit up the other night. Maybe it was, I don't remember. I don't think this was on the other night.
You almost forget about this one across the street.
So again, this was the house I call the Las Vegas house. We're back. Take a different look at this house. This is crazy how much lights they put in these trees. This is just amazing. It's a nice wreath. Okay, now we're getting to 11th Avenue, and I'm already seeing a lot of these houses lit up that were not lit up the other night. Now this is one of those really, I just don't even know how much time it must take to light this tree up, but this is just nuts. So now we're on 11th Avenue and 83rd Street. In case anybody's wondering, I didn't travel far to get here. I live in the neighborhood. I only live a few blocks over, so I don't have to go far to get here. That's cool. I like that, actually. I'm trying to pick a route that will let me hit all the houses in the most, I guess, economical way, time-wise. So I'm going to be doing a lot of zigzagging. We'll eventually end up on this block. This will be where I end it, because this is where the best houses are. So we'll come back to these houses eventually. What I want to do is go up this block and then go around the corner, come down, and then back around. Eventually we'll see the big houses that were not lit up on 12th Avenue the other night. Years ago, this house, it was different. This house was, I would say it was rebuilt. I mean, I guess you could say it was renovated, but I felt like it was rebuilt. But the house that used to stand here used to have a really cool Scrooge display. So they had like all the characters from the story Scrooge. They had like all the ghosts. They had all the characters from like the past, present, and future. And they would move around. They were like all figurines, and they would move around. And everyone used to call it the Scrooge house. It used to be here. All right, on to, we saw this house the other night. I called it the Griswold house because the way it seems like the way it's decorated is like, if you ever see the Christmas holiday movie with Chevy Chase, he just drapes all the lights all over the roof. And that's how this house looks. It's just drapes of lights. See Santa Claus in the window? I don't know if you guys could see that. It looks like he's got like a big screen in the window.
Pero vamos a ver, quiero decir que esta calle ya la hemos subido, para que la vamos a volver a bajar. Saliendo por aquí y la vemos por aquí.
There's just so many houses now. I gotta really try to remember where I'm supposed to be walking. I don't know if you guys can see that, but there's a machine up there that spits out snow. All right, so we're gonna go down 83rd Street. Then back along 11th Avenue, and then we'll see what we find down there. This is definitely better than the other night. The other night, it seemed like there weren't any houses lit up the other night. Ah, this is what I wanted to see. This has become a big favorite in the last few years, this house right here. We got the Christmas tree in the window.
away from the dark side.
All right, so next we're gonna start heading back down to 11th Avenue. We'll go down 11th Avenue, we'll go down 85th Street, and then we'll come around to 84th Street, where all the first houses that started it all are. Lucy's house, you've seen it in my other videos. We'll stop there, that'll be where we end. But Al's house is the one that has all the move-in figurines and stuff that was not on the other night. It has the big Santa. Stop there. We'll hit the Snowflake house. 85th Street has some nice houses that weren't lit the other night, but they should be lit tonight. This is another house that wasn't lit up the other night. Now these two big houses on 11th Avenue, this one's lit up, but the other one still isn't lit up. So this house is not lit up. Now the other night it was lit up. They were shooting a scene for a Netflix series. So I did record that. I just haven't posted the video. So I don't know why they're not lit up now. But this is actually a really nice house. I'm surprised they don't have it lit up. It was lit up the other night when they shot the scene. But there's really nothing to see. It's very dark, so. All right, now we're gonna go down 85th Street. Okay, so I had to just change my battery. It's pretty cold outside. I ain't gonna lie. My hands, I could barely feel my hands because I have my hands out a lot. I say the temperature's like around 25. What makes it really cold is the wind. So it is freezing out. Now the battery I was running on, I have extra batteries. I'm not using a battery pack, so I've been changing my batteries. The thing is, you know, in case you don't know, cold weather will zap your batteries. So your batteries won't last as long. Now I still had 25% left on the battery, but I don't like to have the battery die. The camera does a good job at saving your footage when it dies. Problem with that is I may not hear the beeps, and then I might be walking and the battery was dead. So I usually change the battery out before it goes all the way down. But yeah, I could barely feel my hands right now. It's cold outside. All right, so we're gonna make our way down to 12th Avenue. And we're gonna go up 84th Street.
Jen und irgendjemand hat schon artig gegessen und sie sagen Jen. Aber alle ohne S irgendwie. Ja. Jen.
Still some houses have not been finished. I do see a Christmas decorator's truck in front of this house over here. So this house isn't ready yet. We'll definitely be making another trip back. What I want to do is make another video where I just go to all the houses. And what I'll do is I'll edit the houses just in succession, because there's a lot more houses. It's not just Dyker Heights. There's a lot. I know a lot of good houses in Bay Ridge. The problem is they're all spread out. You know, here in Dyker Heights, everything's condensed into like a few blocks, so it's very easy to walk around and check out all the houses. The problem though, a lot of the houses in Bay Ridge, they're spaced out, so you have to walk around. So I'm not going to be walking around Bay Ridge continuously, so I figure I'll just, for a couple of nights, go through all the houses that I know of. There's a lot of big houses that I know of that nobody talks about. And then we'll just put them all in one video. And that'll be the end of that for the year. All right, now we're hitting 12th Avenue. So now we're going to see the biggest houses. This block is known for the block. It's pretty much a block that started it all. So Lucy's house, she was really the first one. And then everybody followed suit. And, well, then all the other blocks followed. So this house right up here is house I call it the snowflake house because it has a lot of snowflakes on it. This is actually a nice house. So funny story about this house. So my primary job, I guess you could say I'm a computer engineer. So that's what I do primarily. That's how I make my money. That's my career. But I also do photography on the side. So for years, I used to do the photography for all these houses. And I would submit these photos into postcard companies and brochures. You might have seen some of my photos have made it into some of the tour guide brochures, into some of the magazines. But this house right here, I took this photo for the person who owns this house, and they wound up buying a bunch of copies of that photo to give to their family members, which is pretty cool. This is a nice house. I always like this house.
What? All the way up. All right. Keep going, keep going. All right. So the boss is, you're going to go.
This right here is Snowflake House Part 2. Oh, so it looks like they did something a little different this year? No, it's the same. Well, they used to have little figurines that used to dance over here in the gardens. They're not there anymore. Now, this house is funny because there have been times where people cross this line here to go take pictures next to the toy soldier, and the owner has to yell at them and tell them to get out of the property. It happens a lot. It looks like no one's doing that right now, so people are taking pictures and such, so I'm not going to get in their way. I just want to get a quick look. All right, well, it looks like Al's house is on, so we'll go look at that. And then we will wrap up at Lucy's house. Well, we're gonna wrap up at Lucy's house, Al's. Doesn't matter which one. Oh, it looks like the house next door to Lucy's is out tonight. In my last video, it was on, so now it's off. I don't understand how the homeowners decide to turn them on or off. Maybe they're not home. but it doesn't look like it's on today. So her house is on, but the house next door is off. The other night it was on. So here's Lucy's house. She's known as the one that started it all. She has a lot of stuff on here. I have a couple of videos that you can look at her house where there's not a lot of people in front. So you can check that video out, those videos out. As you can see, this is the house that everybody comes to. So this house, I took a couple of photos of, and they ended up in all the tour bus brochures. So I do not feel responsible for people coming here. But it's nice to know that my photo is circulating out there. I'll come back in a second, but let's go over to Al's house. Now, I was telling you guys about this house the other night, and this is like crazy. They have like moving carousels. Got a Santa Claus that moves. The soldiers move their arms if you look closely. Now, as it gets close to Christmas, he'll open the gate and let people go up to the top gate to look. But right now the gate is closed.
Oh, apa?
Vamos embora?
Up on those balconies, those two patios up there, they used to have figurines dancing in circles. They don't have them anymore. It looks like they just put Christmas trees up there or something. But they still have the carousels over here that are spinning around. The only thing that kind of sucks is like you can't get a good look at it unless, I don't know if I could peek through the tree here. It's kind of high up. It's blocked by all this, all the brush and the trees that he has. So let's look at this one more time. Oof, it is frigid outside. Good night though to walk around with the camera. No sweating. Gotta keep moving to stay warm. Take one closer look again at the Santa since everybody walked away. So the man that used to live here, his name, it's still his house. His name was Al. He passed away some years ago. So I believe his wife continues to do this. Now that Santa Claus has, I don't know if it still does, but there used to be like a camera set up in there and a speaker, and he used to actually talk to people. All right, we're gonna wrap it up at Lucy's house. Lucy Spata. And again, if anybody wants to know the story, I'd say late 80s. I don't know exactly when her mom passed away, but when her mom passed away, you know, the story is her mom liked angels. And when she first did the house, she put a lot of angels up. And then she kept adding on and adding on. And then eventually everyone started to follow and started decorating their houses. There's videos, you can go on YouTube and see some videos of people doing interviews with her. She also decorates the inside of the house, so those videos have that. Now I have a couple of videos I already did where I got close to the house, but if you guys want to see those, just go check them out. I'm not gonna jump in front of people here taking pictures.
C'est déjà pas mal. C'est rien, c'est là dans la descente à droite pour venir sur la route.
That's it, I'm cutting in front of people.
No dice que no. No quiere.
There you go, real quick. Get out of everybody's way. Yes, there's a lot of tourists here. Okay, so we'll wrap it up here. And like I said, I'm probably gonna do a walk around Bay Ridge and then probably put all the houses together in one video, because there's a lot more houses to see.
Le altre erano fare, questa è proprio abbastanza carica.
Di Sabri è talmente